What's up, everybody? It's Mark from Lawn Creeps Limited out here in Villa Park, Illinois, the Garden Village, which is now the wintry, snowy, non-gardening, non-lawn care village. So yeah, the winter doldrums are kind of starting to set in, right? All cold and no play make lawn and garden boy a dull boy, right? That was my attempt at a Shining reference. So yeah, what do we do in these times of boredom when we can't get out there and get that soil underneath our fingernails? Well, one thing we can do besides cleaning and oiling and sharpening our lawn tools is we can actually fill our brain with all kinds of information and knowledge from these things. These are called books. These were something that we used to get informed and learn things from in the days before YouTube. They're written by experts, by botanists and horticulturists and people that have been in this profession for many years. So you know the information in here is going to be pretty solid. There is nothing wrong with getting information from these things. Everybody should have a collection of books. You know, a lot of these are from different times, different eras. It's interesting to see, you know, how far we've come, or conversely, how little has changed. I mean, people in the YouTube lawn care universe are just now starting to talk about the soil piece of this thing, the importance of that loamy, humus-rich, loose soil full of life, and how that is going to give you the ultimate grass and in turn your ultimate lawn. But that stuff's been in these books. Rachel Carlson was talking about soil in 1963 in her book called Silent Spring. If you don't read her whole book, at least read the chapter Realms of the Soil, right? And that's kind of case in point here. The more things change, the more they stay the same, especially with gardening and lawns. So the point is to get yourself out there, go to some rummage sales, garage sales, used bookstores for sure. But there's not just books in here. There's also pamphlets and catalogs from seed companies, newsletters and stuff from our local arboretum and what have you. Fill your brain with it, immerse yourself. It's going to build your knowledge and your passion and your your love for this. Don't just get all your information from a knucklehead like me. Refer to these things. And let's get right into it then. Starting off with this one right here. This was one of the first things I bought when I became a homeowner, 2009. Caught the lawn in garden bug, right? You're gung-ho to kind of continue that tradition on. You know, you grew up mowing lawns, so as a homeowner, as a young homeowner, right, you want to keep that thing going and you catch that lawn bug and stuff. I knew some things, but I wanted to expand my knowledge, so I went and sought out books, and this was one of the first ones I bought. This thing is really cool. It's a little field guide, obviously spiral bound, and it's waterproof. It even says right back here, this book is waterproof, and it's got the guy wiping it down with his gardening glove. I love that stuff. I actually have a piece of twine on it, and this hangs in my shed. Don't really refer to it too much anymore, but it's there, you know, if I wanted to just look at something like a weed profile or whatever. And it covers everything else lawn, man, in a nutshell, in this little field guide. It's awesome. So that was one of the first things I got. And then around that time, you know, I just started getting more and more into it, and I just wanted more and more information on lawns. You know, once a week pretty much I would go out to my used bookstore and go and seek out these kind of books. All of these are the same type of book, just all-encompassing kind of lawn care books. These books all contain the tried and true, long-standing lawn care, you know, things that are still viable today. And again, they do talk about soil, they talk about organics, they talk about all of that. Ortho makes one too. This Scott's one is like an unabridged version of the field guide. It's a bigger, more extensive version of the field guide. And Ashton Ritchie, he's a respected grassman in the field, long-standing. This one by Ortho is actually very well written for such a kind of a mundane kind of, you know, cut and dried subject here. This one is written with a good amount of heart, actually, believe it or not, this Ortho All About Lawns. And these things are a dime a dozen at the used bookstores. You know, there's always like 2 or 3 copies of this at used bookstores usually. So, you know, I started buying all of these. I mean, they started becoming redundant, but again, I just wanted to fill my brain with every possible nuance, every if they had just even different types of pictures, or if they went into a little bit of a different explanation on things in these, I gobbled them up. And then again, in my quest for just more and more information, I just kept picking up book after book. This one is really awesome. It's called The Lawn Expert from 1961, and it is from England, so which is where your lawn originated. So all you hardcore grass nerds that want your perfect stripes and your perfect level lawn, you're doing what the British dudes started doing many moons ago. This one is a very cool book. It's still informative, and it's still loaded with information. But they talk about everything. They talk about liming, rolling. They talk about reading. I'll be damned. There you go. They talk about aerating. They talk about, or they actually get into organic lawn care. And again, this is from the 60s. So what's old is new, my friends. This thing is awesome. If you find this out in the wild, pick it up. It's a fun read. It's a very fun and entertaining read. And again, these just the junior high science class textbook sort of vibe to this is just killer. Very good. And that, of course, leads us to this. Here we go. There he is, Jerry Baker. Look at him. Look at him. He's got the classic "Get Off My Lawn" look. He's got the penny loafers, yellow socks, plaid polyester pants, a yellow golf shirt, and the quintessential bald job. So this was the original lawn care nut. He was the guy that told you to go get a hose end sprayer and mix your own homemade cocktails in it of ammonia, Epsom salt, beer, lots of different stuff in your hose end sprayer, and spray a snack. Give your lawn a snack once or twice a week, along with all of the other kind of standard lawn care stuff. This is from 1981. He was a spokesman for Kmart, who was a huge player in the game. They were kind of, the daddy of lawn and gardens. Before your Home Depots and all of that, Kmart had their garden centers, and they were the go-to place, and he was the man. A lot of the stuff in here has been debunked as far as his kind of homemade cocktail snacks out of his hose end sprayer, but a lot of the stuff in here is still valid. There's some redeeming qualities to hunting these books down and reading it, because again, just like I've been saying this whole time, get your information from every angle, every era, and kind of learn this thing. But he goes into very extensive detail on cultivars of grass. It's kind of interesting, and a lot of other great information in here that still stands today for sure. It's written in his comedic style. He's a funny dude, man. He's a funny dude. This book is, if you're a grass fan and just a fanatic, a lawn fanatic, you definitely should throw this book in your collection. It's definitely worth hunting down. Pretty easy to find at used bookstores. But yeah, there he is, man. Now, if you really got the chops, what you do is you go to a resale store and you buy this outfit, and you do all of your lawn mowing in this outfit, and you're going to be the king of the block. I'm just going to fire these off now because I want to keep this video into the 15-minute range, but we're still on lawn books here. I'm still a grass man through and through, like I said. This one right here, The Perfect Illinois Lawn, which can also be applied to other Midwest areas, written by Melinda Myers, who is a spokesperson for your beloved Milorganite these days. This is a very good book. Very simple and to the point. As you can see, it's not humongous. It tells you exactly what it needs to tell you. And again, before kind of the soil revolution kind of happened here on YouTube in the last year or so, she had been talking about the importance of a rich organic, soil. And this book is written kind of with an edge of an organic means in sustainability sort of factor. Do more with less and all of that. So if you're the type of person that wants to have a good lawn but doesn't necessarily want to use every single fungicide, pesticide, or really over fertilize your lawn or anything like that, this is pretty much a great read for you, and pretty easy to find. It's on Cool Springs Press. You're going to see in the garden segment of this book review that there's a lot of good books on Cool Springs Press. So, good stuff, Melinda Myers. And that brings us to the final book in the lawn care segment here, and that is this one. I love this. kind of saved it for last, I guess, because it might be my favorite thing. Lawns, Ground Covers, and Weed Control by Simon & Schuster. Those of you who are of a certain age remember the Simon & Schuster series of many different types of books and step-by-step books and stuff like that. You know, got this at a used bookstore. And I had already bought a whole bunch of lawn care books at this point. There was really no more information that I felt I was going to really gain necessarily. But this thing is extensive, but there was no way in hell I was going to pass this up because of the illustrations. The illustrations in this thing are absolutely incredible. They are all these hand-drawn pointillism drawings, which you do not see anymore. It's printed in green and black. It's a two-color press. And it's incredible. You know, the different pictures of the weeds and the vegetation, the ground covers and stuff, but also of the step-by-step stuff. I mean, the step-by-step stuff is very, very extensive. You know, it's kind of cool to see some of the old tools in here. This is from '81, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It comes off as like a groundskeeper manual, or even like a horticulture textbook. You're definitely going to get information out of this book, especially, and really all of these books just the same, that you're not going to get on YouTube. The point being is that, you know, get out there and find unique stuff from every era. You know, if you want to be a lawn fanatic and stuff like that, whatever direction you're going to go, whether you're going to be just a chemical-wielding lawn perfectionist, or if you're going to, you know, want a nice lawn but don't really care too much about using every chemical or over-fertilizing your lawn, you know, read everything, find cool stuff, immerse yourself in it like I've been saying this whole time, and just get into it, man. You know, what else are you going to do this winter besides look out the window at the snow and wish you were gardening and doing lawns? You're going to read about this stuff, and then when it does come time to get out there, you're going to be invigorated, you're going to be more knowledgeable, and you're going to be
a lawn creep.
Right? So this was part 1 of this whole book tour. Part 2 is going to be the gardening aspect. Part 1 was the lawns. I hope you enjoyed some of these. It was thought-provoking, hopefully. So come on back for part 2, where we'll talk about gardening books.
Wait!